Okay, good evening, everybody. So I'm so excited. You guys, first and foremost, do not judge. I'm due for a lash fill tomorrow. So I feel like the naked roll rat, and I'm like, oh my God, I can totally tell that I need it. But it has just been chaos and crazy with back to school and all the things. But I'm super excited. And Lori, this Zoom is actually going to time up perfectly because our team had an exclusive Zoom with Doug last night. And so he leaked a lot of really cool things and just perfect things that are coming up for kind of what's in store for our businesses and everything. And you guys drop a one in the chat if you guys were on that and it just got you so hyped. I'm super pumped. But I'm really excited because I've been in this business. My name is not Claire Flores, it's Erin Tweed. I've been in this business for 8 years and I got started, and there's been some different people that have helped along the way as far as kind of somewhat ish of your title and your role in different things. But we didn't really know exactly what that person did or how to support the field. And so I'm really excited after like our one-on-one phone call. I was like, this is just going to be so amazing for our teams to really know, hey, they have corporate support and who's their go-to person based on regions and different things. So I'm really excited for y'all to hear from Laurie tonight. So Laurie, if you don't mind just introducing yourself, sharing a little bit about your story, like how you came across It Works and all those things, and then we'll jump into some questions. Oh, hold on. I got to unmute you. Hold on. Oh, wait, you should be able to unmute.
There we go.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, I'm actually jealous, guys. You guys probably know things from Doug that I don't know. So can I get the recording? We have a call tomorrow. So like I said, y'all may we have a sales team call tomorrow, and he's usually part of those. But we have been moving so fast and furious. Hopefully you guys all saw Adrian's Instagram HQ post today. Did y'all see that about the wraps? So that's very, very exciting. But anyway, a little about me personally. I am married to my husband, Mitchell. This is not my home. I'll just say that if it looks very stoic. And we live in Texas and our AC is out. So we're in a hotel room right now. So for any of those of you that live in Texas, you know that is just, it's you can't do it. So I have a little more personality than what you see behind me in our hotel room here. I'm married. Mitch and I have 5 children together, and we're born in 5 years. So we have a 33-year-old, 2 35-year-olds, a 37 and a 38. We have 9 grandchildren and our 10th grandchild on the way. We are very active with our grandchildren. They all live local in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we are blessed. Sometimes we're a little too blessed, and when they're all together, but we really are. They are. We have a 15-year-old, and then the rest of them are all 10, between 1 and 10, and we have one due in October. It's probably going to come while I'm in Punta Cana, I'm quite sure. So that's just the way it happens, right? So, but we've got a backup plan for all of that. I've been in direct sales and network marketing my entire adult life. So for I started when my baby was 4 months old, and he turned 33 in July. So I started when they were 4 months, 2 and 4, my kids. And so I've been through the stages. I actually was independent for 15 years, went corporate for 15 years, took 2 years back in the field, and then took 2 years off to care for my in-laws. Unfortunately, we lost both of them last year. But it was a pleasure to be able to, care for them and be in a position, thanks to this industry, to be able to do that. Quite honestly, it has provided very well for us financially. So how did I come to It Works? It's really a fun story, I think. In 2017, I was at the DSN, which is the Direct Selling News Awards banquet, as on staff with another company as their VP of sales. And I was sitting in the audience, and Mark Pentecost received an award, and he spoke that night. And I just sat there going, oh my gosh, I love what this guy stands for. You could really just passion, really feel his heart more than anything. I'll just be honest. It was not just as necessarily his passion about the business, but you could feel his heart. And you could feel that he had created, in fact, I think I talked to Charlie, who's in HR. I don't know how many of y'all know Charlie, and probably Zach were probably even there with him. I mean, he had some of the staff there with him. He had his beautiful family there with him. And I remember, so my right-hand person, I can't call her my assistant, that would be an insult to her, but she was my right-hand person. I kept saying to her, I want to work there, which is probably not what you should say as the VP of another company, right? But I was so just taken back by him. And in fact, I actually stood in line to meet him afterwards, but the line never got short. And so I finally had to leave. And I even went back to work the next day. I was smart enough not to say I want to work there, but I did say because there were other executives there, and I kept saying they have something special at It Works. We need to figure that out. Their culture is, you could just feel the culture coming through. So fast forward 2017 to January of 2022. We've been through the thing with my in-laws and making the decision for me to go back to work. I feel I'm a little too young to retire quite yet. And I was pretty sure I was going to go back corporate, but I was just bouncing this off of a friend of mine, whether I was going to go back corporate or go back to the field. And my friend said, well, I have a friend that's looking for someone. Her name is Meredith Thiessen. And I said, oh, really? And I said, well, where does she work? And she goes, It Works. And y'all, this was my exact response. I was like, oh my gosh, It Works. I've always wanted to work at It Works. And so I kind of shared my story, and she connected Meredith and myself. And I shared with Meredith when I sent over my resume, a synopsis of my story. And about 2 days later, I had my first interview with Adrian, and Adrian and I just hit it off. Like, honestly, I thought the next day I was going to get a phone call and I was going to have a job offer. I did it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, my husband was actually like, yeah, listening in the other room. He could hear us. We were on Zoom. But someone else. And then it took 2 months and I had 7 interviews. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be the CEO. But anyway, it was really a great experience in that once I was offered the job and I went to corporate, we really talked about how important and why they spent so much time, because so many companies, especially in network marketing, when they look for a hire, they look for who's going to fit the corporate, where you're hanging out. But quite honestly, my job isn't hanging out with the corporate. I talk to them way less than I talk to the field. And so they really took their time to make sure that it was a perfect blend, in their opinion and my opinion, that we would blend with you. And they spent a lot of time telling me about the field. And it was just really a super cool experience. And I know they knew from day one. There was no doubt I wanted this job because I kept checking back in, And so when the job was offered, of course, it didn't take me any time. There was no negotiation because I knew this is where I wanted to be. And I knew they had taken the time to really make sure it worked. And I think one of the coolest things was when I got my offer, usually there's this and you'll have a review in 90 days. None of that's in there. They did that all up front. And of course, there'll always be reviews. I'm not saying that, but when you take a lot of jobs, for those of you that maybe are in the corporate world still, it's kind of like you're on pins and needles in the first, am I making the grade? And I love the fact that they took their time and they really considered the field first. And because that is where I spend my time. I mean, I might be on the phone an hour and a half total with someone from corporate in a week, and I'm probably on the phone with the field 40 hours a week. And so if not, we have 43 people on here. So I'm touching 43 people. If it didn't work, it wouldn't be good. So I think I've had the opportunity to personally touch, between team meetings and one-on-ones, about 300 people already without really leaving my house, which is pretty cool, I think. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm really excited to get to know everybody. And I have the Central region, which is the 10 states straight up. So it is, let me see if I can do this. It is Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Iowa. I did it. So that's my region. I like to tell people though, Pam Foti has the Northeast, Lanisa has the Southeast. They stayed pretty much, I think they added a few states, and Susie Reed has the West. And but I like to say we definitely have regions that we're responsible for, but we have blurred lines. So I know some of you probably are not in my region. However, we are all here to help you. Of course, as we grew and if we got into some serious training or coaching with some of you, we'd probably want to connect you with that person that you're going to be seeing face to face. But here's the thing, you can reach out to all of us anytime. We have been tasked to grow It Works, not just to grow our region. So that's a little bit about me. And you were talking about, you felt like a hot mess. I'm in the messy bun, no makeup, because and then I forgot all of my makeup at the house for tomorrow. So I had it in a bag and it's still sitting on the bathroom counter.
Well, we are in the state of Texas where you just, like the weather, there's no point. There's literally, you take 3 showers a day because you're melting all day. It's so hot and ridiculous. But I feel you, and I cannot do no air conditioning. So I'm really excited because, like I said, kind of just getting to know you in your region, and you kind of said, tasked with growing It Works. And, when you came to me and kind of, we were talking about different things, it was super exciting to just hear kind of what your and the things that they really wanted you to help focus on with building, as far as like really that distributor to diamond level. And so can you talk about that and just a little bit of just like the training and mentoring that each of the regions are offering? Because I think at the end of the day, if people don't know about it, they're never going to utilize it. And so that's something, when we were talking, I was like, I would love for our team to hear this, because if they don't really know how they can best utilize, they wouldn't get on those different things. And I know you had like a little Google sheet or something that you said people fill out. Okay. I don't remember what it was, what sheet it was.
A Word document. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you guys, I'm welcome to send it back to you. And you guys, you may have already sent some to me. I have my notebook. This is my handy dandy, all filed notebook. I'm a paper person. I still love taking pen and paper notes, as I have my pen in my hand right now. So really what we've been tasked to do is to really grow the executives, emeralds, rubies, and diamonds. Now, what I have found since I've been here, maybe even changed some since I talked with you, Erin, I found that I've connected really with a lot of diamonds, triple diamonds, ambassador diamonds, presidentials like yourself. But what we're doing then is really partnering to establish a great training structure for those levels, because we want everyone to have a path that they know they can climb. And we'll have coaching groups and training calls and things like that you can participate in. Quite honestly, we've been working on, as I've done a lot of these afterwards, if you're interested in being involved and you want Erin and I to partner with you, what we can do is fill out that little form for us, because it really just gives me an idea of where you stand. And then we can create a roadmap for you. Not that Erin's not capable, she can do it on her own, but then we can feed some of you into my training system, whether it's a coaching group or a training system. I do, I call it new distributor training, but it's really good training for anyone in any rank, because I'm a believer sometimes the most simple thing that we hear is maybe, gosh, you just forgot it. You were doing it 4 years ago and you're not doing it anymore. But every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live, I do training. But then I also have groups of training that I have people that are gathering that are kind of headed in the same direction. Not necessarily the same personality, because I think you need to learn from all different types, but we work with them and get them moving forward. So my kind of theory, I have a couple of things. First thing is, I want you to be having fun and making money. I have never in my life, that's my motto. It's been my motto for 23 years now, or 33 years now in the industry. no one ever quits when they're having fun and making money. You know, I always tell people, I've never had anyone walk to me and go, Laurie, I'm having so much fun, I'm making so much money, I quit. You know, it just doesn't happen, right? But if one of those things is missing, for some reason, people don't treat this necessarily like they do a job. They can be miserable in a job and making crappy money, and they'll keep going. But if they're not having fun and not making money here, they quit. It's kind of silly because it does take time. There will be times that you feel like you're putting in more than you're getting out. So that's why we want you to at least be having fun and have good relationships, and because the money comes, it does, I promise you. I always tell people, if they put as much time into this as they did getting their 4-year degree, they would be filthy stinking rich. And it wouldn't have cost them but maybe $149 instead of $149,000. Now, I'm all about upper education. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm just saying, if we really took it as serious and studied this business and took the time that you went to class and studied into this, you would be amazed what you could get and what your return on your investment would be. The second thing that I think it's really important is we've all got to help each other. There is not anyone that knows everything. This business is just like any business out there. I pride myself on, I study business. I don't study network marketing. I study all businesses because I don't like to pigeonhole myself as a network marketer, because really all businesses are network marketing. So I don't want to pigeonhole myself there. In fact, you know, when people ask you if you're, when I used to ask me if I was a pyramid, my response was, well, what do you think a pyramid is? Well, you know, where the person at the top makes all the money. Well, where do you work? Doesn't the owner of that company make most of the money? You know, in fact, those of us on staff make way less than the top people in this business. I mean, that's just it. For when I made a lot more as an independent. I just wanted to further my career in a different way. So we just have to really get our head around, we are going to teach you to be not network marketers. We're going to teach you to be great business people. And some of you already are. Some of you have been and kind of got lazy. Some of you are on a roll going freaking crazy right now, and we need you to inspire us. But it takes all of us. It takes that army.
I love it. Okay, so how can people get involved with the different coaching? Are all of the regions kind of doing something similar in their own
Yeah, I would
way?
say similar. I tend to do the most probably voice to voice. I live on Zoom. So every time I ask somebody, can we talk? I'll say, can we Zoom? And the reason I do that is number one, I want to get to know you, and I want you to get to know me. And I think your background and what people see tell a lot about you. If you're in my office, it would tell you about who I am and that type of thing. But also I want to I think it's really important. So many people have hid behind the text message or the Facebook message for so long that we have not, how do I want to put this? We have not realized how much relationship stuff we're missing out on. And, everybody loves to say this is a relationship business, but then I see them just texting all the time. And a very, very smart businessman once said, there is no great business deal that's ever happened in a text message. And I believe, now don't get me wrong, I believe 100% in social media. I believe 100% in online business. But I believe that as we're developing and getting to know people, you will have so much more business if you start to reconnect. People are ready to reconnect again. So if I have a minute, I'd love to share an analogy with you guys, if that's okay. This has seemed to really resonate with a lot of people lately. So I want you to think about the business Target. Okay, everybody knows Target. So I want you to think back pre-COVID, because I feel like we're now pre-COVID, COVID, post-COVID, right? So pre-COVID, we were all excited about doing business online. It was new, it was different, it added an element to everyone's business, right? So man, we've always had to go out and do all this. We have this great thing that we can add this element of just jumping online and placing an order and that kind of thing. So then we get to COVID and we become forced to do business only that way. For about 2 years, we were forced in a way to do it. I want you to stop for a minute, take yourself out of network marketing, out of your job right now. And I want you to think about business. So as you notice, people are starting to go back to stores more. The malls are filling up. Target is filling up. So my theory and after my study is people need to reconnect to things. They want to touch, feel, smell, hug, whatever. So Target by far does more business online than their stores do. No doubt. They actually create more profit doing their business online. No doubt. It will always be there. However, think with me for a minute. If tomorrow all Targets were shut down, the buildings were destroyed and the signs were gone, they erased all evidence of the Target, what do you think would happen to their online business? It wouldn't explode, because kind of out of sight, out of mind. But also Target relies on a new person walking through that door every day to drive them to their online business. And we basically shut our stores during COVID because we had to also. Our coffee chats, our sip-in shops, our wrap parties, our meeting a girlfriend here and there, we closed it all down just like everyone did. But if we don't open that back up, it's going to be hard for us to keep track because people are looking for something open. They want to touch and feel. And so now in reverse, if Target shut down its online business, their store business would survive, but at a very low profit margin. The only thing that would probably kill their store business is the cost of doing business. So one, I share that because I want you to know, one is completely reliant on the other. But if we don't open our doors, if we don't open our doors back to where people can see us, touch us, feel it, taste it, then we can never really benefit from the bump in the business that we could get. And I'm really I am so excited about this wrap offering because so I think so the wrap is what made It Works a $1 billion brand. I will tell you that I am talking to new DTs that have never even ordered a wrap. And I'm thinking that'd be like working for Levi's and not having a pair of jeans. Right? You never leave. Can you imagine do jeans anymore? You know, that would just be like weird. They have tons of other things. They sell tons of other things, but they'll never get rid of the jeans. You know, everybody's probably had red tab, 501 button fly or whatever, you know. That's our wrap. So we need, and it's the only product that we have that nobody else has. Everybody has skincare. Everybody has some type of nutrition. Everybody has, you know, some type of weight loss. We have something that literally no one has. So I want to encourage you guys to open your store again, whether it's once a month, twice a month, once a week. Some of you, depending on your age and the way you like to connect, you may want to do it 2 times a week. Some of you may only want to do it once a month. But and it doesn't mean you have to have a wrap party. It doesn't mean anything. It just means open your store. And we are really trying as a team to model that. And I got way off your question, but where I was going with this is you can't do that in a text message. You can show before and afters, but let me tell you, if I was launching someone today if I enrolled someone that lived in Alaska I would have their friends on Zoom sitting in their living room, and I'd have her products out, and I'd be talking, and I'd have her wrap someone, because what I've done now is I've not just trained her, I've trained everyone in the room. And I just made my job really, really easy. And then the next day I'm going to have her on the phone, and we're going to talk about doing one where she invites everybody to watch on a Zoom. Then I'm going to talk to her about how to do host to post. And then I'm going to talk to her about how to do TikToks and reels. But the thing is, I gave her a core that she can, every time she enrolls someone, if she does that, she knows they have one type of training down pat, done. And then I built a relationship with everybody, not just her in that room. And it helps us to build. And so that's what you're going to hear a lot of us talking about. I don't know that as many of them do as many calls and Zooms as I do. It's just my style. I love them. Can you tell? I like to talk.
I love it. Well, and I think it's just a great reminder too, because, you know, like when we first launched 8 years ago, you had to do a launch party, and you had like, if you might have had 2 people come over to your house, or you had tons of people, and then you were always launching and different things. And that's something that's been huge, you know, recently, that I've just been reminding teams, because I'm like, you know, you're in back to school things, you're at Meet the Teacher, at all these different things, you have to be showing and talking and connecting. And as much as an uncomfortable, like, I don't want to go to PTA meetings. I cannot put anything else on my plate, but I know it's a great opportunity for connecting and networking. And so I get to meet some moms, add them on Facebook. Cool. We may never talk about that, but because I built that little bit of relationship and I put myself out there, you know, now I'm connecting with a whole nother level of people. So that's super exciting. So last question that I have for you, because I know we're kind of pushing our 30-minute time. What are you most excited about as far as like coming in, seeing what we've got, and just kind of the vision of, you know, this company moving forward? Like, you know, obviously you're seeing it from like the outside in now, but what are you most excited about for us moving forward?
Well, I'm laughing because my husband's laying on the bed, because you know we're in a hotel, and my husband just goes, "She's really good." And he's heard a lot of people. So big compliment to you, Erin. But that's one of the things I have to tell you, It Works leaders are very well trained. It is so nice to walk in and be greeted by such a professional group of people that are open-minded and that are, I mean, everybody's been so nice. I mean, that's probably, I didn't think that'd be the first thing I'd think of, but truly people have been really open, and I think is ready for this next step. I also understand that there was probably a little bit of agita about, oh gosh, here comes a new regime and blah, blah. And some things have happened good with new people. And from what I hear, some things have happened not so good with some new people. But first off, Doug is a really smart man. When you have a really smart person at the helm, that's really exciting. I've worked with some CEOs that I can't say that about. Like, I won't call any names, I promise. And don't be going trying to figure it out on my LinkedIn. But I have worked with some that, you know, they're not Doug. Meredith, Adrian, the team, even down to like the people that greet you when you walk in the front door. So it's not just the field that has been so open and welcome. It's also been the team. And, you know, I'm just gonna tell you, you know, we get different types of reports, and sometimes things come in really fantastic, and sometimes things don't come in really fantastic, just like in your business. But I have to tell you, the last time things didn't come in really fantastic, it was a day. It wasn't like even a week. But Doug sent out something because he knew we had worked really hard on something. And he said, hey, you guys put in all the work. You did a great job. It's coming. He didn't have to do that. And to have someone that's at the helm that only visions upward, and they're not looking like going, oh gosh, we had a down day, or this, you know, he has an upward vision. And I think that's really exciting. Meredith is a very, very smart woman. She is very steady and confident and knows her business. Adrian has the heart of a leader, just like you guys. That's been, I mean, I could just go on and on, but I would say that first of all is the leadership inside and out. But also, I really believe with us combining the six, because I honestly, guys, I have never met a company that has really, what's the word I'm looking for? Marketed, that's not even the right word, has a corner on the market with TikToks and reels and host a post and that type of thing, but also that can attract a 19-year-old that stays till she's 26 and is making $10,000 or $20,000 a month. They started as a college student, but that same company can attract a 57-year-old woman like myself or even older. That is not usual. It's just not common. And that means we've got, I mean, the world is our oyster, right? We just have to, I think we narrowed the funnel a little for a while there, but I think everyone's ready to open the funnel back up and let everybody in.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you so much for this. Because again, you know, I think I want our teams to be able to use everybody as resources. And I think once you kind of know like what you can do with it, then it's easier to reach out on different things. So if you're okay with it, are you going to drop the link in the chat?
I don't, you know what? I don't.
If not, then I'll get it from you and we'll post it in our team page.
I'm going to text it to you right now. Okay. So you can do that.
Perfect. And then if you are not specifically in the Midwest region, I know that you still take those forms and distribute it out to the specific leaders. So don't feel like, hey, I'm just going to get lost in the mix because she only covers Central. They're all working together. Like she said, you know, they're really collaborating on different things because you can get connected in those, you know, different coaching groups and maybe even find, like, I love it because it gives you the opportunity to maybe find an accountability partner or somebody else that's a sideline sister that you can bounce ideas off. So any last minute thing that you want to share real quick before we let you go, anything else that's just on your heart?
Well, I think you guys are really fortunate to have Erin as your leader. I wish I could see all of your faces. If you live anywhere near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Thursday night, we're having our first training. Are the people on pretty spread out or?
Yeah, we cover like all over.
Okay. I will be in Omaha, Nebraska in September. I will be in Minnesota in October, and I will be in Kansas City, Columbia, and St. Louis in November. So if you are in any of those, or what part of Florida? Teresa's from Florida. I'm actually a native Floridian from the Panhandle. I'm from Pensacola. So Ocala, I've spent a lot of time in Ocala. I'm a Gator, so down from Central Florida. But yeah, so if you're in there, I would love for you to join us. There will be, make sure you're getting to these trainings. In fact, we were looking like the one in Minnesota, people in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not my region, but I'm much closer than maybe Boston to them. So look at where everybody is and see what's the closest one. I think we've all missed that. I mean, I think that we've just missed that so much. So and I will drop that form in and you put it on your team page. What I like to have them do, Erin, is send it to you and you send it to me. Not that I don't want it to come to me because everybody can have my phone number, by the way. You can text me. You don't have to be in my region. It's 817-501-5195. And I'll repeat that, 817-501-5195. But Erin is where you're going to have your connection. So I always want her to have a copy of everything that I have. To keep that leadership intact and in line. So that's why I haven't sent it to you, then you send it to me and you and I will get together and say, you know, how can we get these people engaged and you'll know more about personalities and things.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And if you guys have any questions, I know somebody said, what were the last four numbers? Sorry.
I'll do the whole thing again. 817-501-5195.
Okay, perfect. But thank you so much. And thank you to your husband for listening to us, you know, chat for 35 minutes and all the things. But I appreciate you taking out time. Like I said, I'm really excited to just partner and, you know, really have that support for our teams. I will get that out to our team so that way if you guys have questions and I haven't gotten out to you, please message me on Facebook, text me, whatever. But just know that we welcome you to the family and we're so happy
Thank
that you're
you.
here. And I can't wait to work more with you. But I hope everybody has a great night. And
Thanks,
y'all,
everybody.
yes, we'll see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.
Night.